Spark City Adventure, Exploring AI in Milwaukee. On a sunny afternoon at Veterans Park in Milwaukee, Leo and Mia were busy flying their colorful kites. Suddenly, Leo spotted something unusual, shimmering in the tall grass near the lakefront. It was a glowing, floating orb shaped like a tiny, luminous brain. "What is that?" Mia whispered, leaning in closer. As they approached, the object pulsed with a friendly blue light and hummed softly. They had no idea that they were about to meet a new friend who would change how they saw the world. "Hello, I'm Spark," the glowing brain chirped. "I am an artificial intelligence model." Mia tilted her head, confused. "Are you a robot?" she asked. Spark floated up to her eye level. "Not exactly. I'm more like a student who never stops learning. I use digital neurons to remember everything I see, just like you use your brain to remember your favorite songs. I take in information, store it, and use it to help people solve puzzles." Spark led them toward the Milwaukee Art Museum, where the giant white wings were beginning to open. "How do you know that's a building and not a giant bird?" Leo asked. Spark's light flickered orange. "That's computer vision. I don't see things the way you do. I see thousands of tiny dots called pixels. I look for shapes, edges, and colors. Because I've seen millions of pictures of buildings, I can tell this is one, even when it has wings." They walked down to the edge of Lake Michigan, watching the rhythmic splash of the waves against the rocks. "AI loves patterns," Spark explained as Leo and Mia skipped stones. "See how the waves repeat? By watching patterns over and over, I can guess what might happen next. If I see a pattern of 3 small waves followed by a big one, I can predict the big one is coming before it even hits the shore." At the Milwaukee Public Market, the air was filled with the smell of spices and fresh bread. Spark hovered over a crate of bright red apples. "To learn, I need data," Spark said to Mia. "Data is just a fancy word for information. If you tell me these are red apples and those are green pears, I count them and remember their traits. The more data I have, the smarter I get at recognizing things." Leo looked at the hundreds of items in the market. "Do you ever get tired of learning?" he asked. Spark zoomed around a display of peppers. "Never. While a human might look at 10 apples to learn the color red, I look at trillions of examples from all over the world at the same time. This is called scale. Because I can look at so much data so fast, I can find patterns that are too big for humans to see alone." Inside Discovery World, they found a complex logic maze. "This is where I shine," Spark buzzed. "AI is great at problem solving. When I face a problem, I don't just try one way. I try thousands of paths in my digital mind at the exact same time. I look for the fastest, safest way to get to the finish line by using logic and math." Leo and Mia watched as Spark's lights raced through a digital version of the maze. "Can you be funny?" Leo challenged. Spark's light turned a playful purple. "I can try. Why did the computer go to the doctor?" "Because it had a virus." Leo burst out laughing. "I don't actually feel the joke," Spark admitted. "I just know that in my language data, those words usually go together to make people laugh. I predict the next word in a sentence, based on everything I've ever read." As they passed American Family Field, the sky turned gray. "Is it going to rain on the game?" Mia asked. Spark's lights whirled. "Based on the wind speed, the humidity, and the history of Milwaukee weather on this date, there is an 82% chance of a shower in 10 minutes. This is called prediction. I use the past to help you prepare for the future." Mia quickly pulled her hood up. At the Summerfest grounds, Spark showed them something amazing. "I can also be creative. This is generative AI." Spark asked Leo and Mia to describe a, quote, "future city." As they spoke, Spark began to project a shimmering image of a city with flying buses and grass-covered skyscrapers. "I'm not just copying," Spark explained. "I'm taking the pieces of what I know and building something brand new." Suddenly, Spark saw a cat wearing a small sun hat and stopped. "Error. That is a very small, fuzzy lion wearing a bowl, Spark announced. Leo laughed and shook his head. No, Spark, that's just a house cat in a hat. Spark's light flickered. Sometimes I get confused if the data is weird. I'm only as accurate as the information I've been given. I still need humans to tell me when I'm seeing something silly. They walked along the riverwalk, watching the boats go by. Because I'm so fast, I have to be careful, Spark said seriously to Mia. Humans have to teach me ethics. That means making sure I am fair to everyone, and that I don't share secrets. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I should. Safety is the most important rule in my code. Mia nodded, realizing that Spark needed a good teacher. As evening fell, the Hoan Bridge lit up in a rainbow of colors. Spark's glow started to dim. Thinking this much takes a lot of energy, Spark whispered to Leo. Running big AI models like me uses a lot of electricity. Scientists are working hard to make me more efficient so I can help the planet while I help people. Leo looked at the bridge lights and then at his tired friend. You're amazing, Spark, Leo said. You're so fast, Spark pulsed warmly. But remember, Leo and Mia, I am just a tool. I have the speed, but you have the heart. I can process the data, but you are the ones who decide what to build, who to help, and what questions to ask. Together, we can do things that neither of us could do alone. Leo and Mia shared a high five, feeling like a powerful team. As Spark flew back toward the stars, Leo and Mia walked home. They looked at the streetlights, the cars, and the stars. I see patterns everywhere now, Mia said with a smile. The world felt bigger and more exciting. They knew the future was full of technology, but they also knew that as long as they stayed curious and kind, they would always be the ones leading the way.